This may not be the best angle for me, but look at the sky. Like I just want to reach out and touch it. Oh, it's like amazing. All those clouds. So I can see quite a bit of condensation here. And I came over like, okay, let me check on these. Y'all, these things be sprouting right up under your nose and you don't even realize it. I pay close attention to them. So a couple of them are trying to get leggy on me already. So these must have sprouted a couple of days ago. I just put them on this mat actually 2 days ago. So this is 2 days worth of growth. I had planted this tray and then I didn't have a heat mat available when I planted it. And as a result, it just sat in the living room. And when I got a heat mat available because another tray had been moved outside, I went ahead and sat it here. And then boom, tomatoes, being the heat loving plants that they are, were like, hey, it's time for us to grow. So we've got 4 different types in this tray. And I'm really excited because all of these varieties are new to me. Homestead 24, Quadro, Pisano, and Floridade are all new for me. So all of these are our ones that will go in our second planting. They like it hot, hot, hot. The first planting that we have over there, the Manitoba, they can deal with some cool temperatures, and so they'll be the ones that we get into the ground as soon as they're of decent size. It was really cold last night, so I want to go outside and check the moringa and okra and eggplant that we left in the hot tunnel. I did put an extra covering on them, so I don't want them to get too hot. So we're going to head out there now. But you were out there and you didn't want to be out there and you came back in. So what are you doing? Paul. Oh, goodness gracious. Still kind of windy, but the air temperature is much better than it was earlier this morning. Girl, get up. Get up. Get up. Off. Get out my walkway. No, don't spray her because you might spray me. Come on, move. Why are the cats so crazy? Why are cats so crazy? Move it. Move. Yeah. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do when I come back down the hill, I'm going to probably harvest some of those leaves and just cook them up for like dinner tonight. Just cook them like you would a collard or I'd say a collard. Cabbage doesn't really require much cooking, but these leaves are thicker, and so they do require a little bit more to be tender enough to eat. To me, they require a little bit more cooking. So let's go check these plants. Let Brian get to work down here on these waters. Actually feels pretty good in here. Yeah. Perfect temperature in here, which means it's a little hot in here. Really gotta get in here and sweep the floors up and get everything like ready. But last night, because I knew we were gonna have the freezing temps, I did go ahead and put these humidity domes on to kind of help the plants make it through the night with no damage. Thing about that is, because of the heat, the temperature increasing during the day, you gotta make sure you get back out here to uncover them. There's a lot of heat coming out of there, but they don't seem fazed by it. Let's see how our Moringa is doing good. Definitely want to get that off because with it being a blackout and they need their light. So almost all of our cells have sprouted. Let's see, I got 1, 2. Oh, y'all, there's only five that didn't sprout. I don't know if something ate this one here, but it sprouted. Something happened. But yeah, that is great. This is very, very good. Now I just got to keep them alive. Sometimes that's harder than getting them to sprout, honestly. When the weather is so back and forth like it has been, you're sprouting usually your goodies in the house. This is the only thing we sprouted outside this year. So getting your germination rates and everything where you want them to be, working with that is generally not so bad. It's when they get up to some size and you're out of space in the house where they have to be outside and you're dealing with that back and forth weather. That's when it starts to get complicated. So considering that you saw that tray that I had in there on the heat mat that had a good bit of germination in it and it's needing some light, and those plants are still very young. Like I said, just like a couple of days. I have a tray of peppers that's considerably older. They were planted in December sometime. I have to look back at my notes and see, but I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the peppers out here and pray. I don't want to have to redo them, but I really need the space, and that's what this room is for. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get the peppers moved out, and then that tray that I showed you earlier in the house will go where those peppers were, and then I'm gonna start a tray of roselle, and I'm gonna put it out here for it to germinate out here like our moringa did. And that's all I know for now that we're going to be working on today. So I'm going to call up to the house and see if I can get Ty to bring me that tray with those peppers.
There you go. You got it?
Got it. Thank you. Down.
You got beef on you, right?
No. All right, let's look at these together. Okay. All right, so no, we're not going to leave this here. We are going to put it over there in the room, but I do want to get a good look here as to where we are with everything. Some of these did get restarted. Some of these are a little dry too. So glow pepper here, glow. This tray just is not doing any. That's grass. That's crazy. Okay. This tray here, this one, we got one glow pepper out of it. What's this? Jalapenos. We got 2 there. Any more jalapenos in here? I think with the jalapenos, I always struggle. The banana peppers always struggle. So this is just the ones that did fairly well the first go round with germination. And then I reshuffled all of the little individual cells, and the ones that needed more time, I collected them from both the hot pepper tray and the sweet pepper tray, and then just kind of mixed it up. So these are the ones that did well the first go round. Now, let's see. I said we had glow. We had 2 nice size glows in this particular tray. These back here are all True Heart. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. These in this section, these 3 here, that's 3. This whole section, I'm sorry, these 3 sets of cells are all Cubanelle. They probably did the best this year so far of all the ones that we've planted. they've done the best as far as germination initially. Usually that's the shishito, so I'm thrown off by that a little bit. But here's our shishitos that did good the first go round. That's only 2, so a little concerned. But like I said, we did resow the other cells, so we'll see. Big Jim did okay. And these are our Scotch bonnets here, 3. Really, with the Scotch bonnets, you don't need a lot because they are so prolific. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, gonna go ahead. I'm gonna water this first. No, I better move it in there first and then water it. Shucks. It's gonna get watered and it's gonna go in the room. Let's see how many roots we had coming out the bottom. Whether or not we could get away with bottom watering all of these. I don't think we can yet. Some of these are big enough to where they're sticking roots out the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lightly water. And then I'm going to put some water in here in the actual tray. My little smaller waterer for my little plants is in the house. I guess I need to get one for the high tunnel too. With them being out here, I literally check on my indoor plants like several times a day, usually, unless they're in a different location as that other tray was. So with them not getting that much attention as they would if they were in the house, I just want to make sure they have enough water. The temperature in here right now feels like it might be about 75 degrees. Our house is around 70 to 72-ish. And with them being under the light, they were probably actually getting a little bit more than that. So we should not see any transplant shock as far as them being transplanted from the house to the high tunnel. It's fairly the same at this moment. And that's the reason why my goal is to get the plants out of the house and out here as quickly as possible, because it does kind of keep them from getting too accustomed to one temperature. And then if we waited until like it was getting warm to bring them out here, then the temperatures out here are going to be obviously a lot warmer. So doing this in the wintertime when the temperatures are still fairly mild for the south actually works in our favor. Again, though, we just have to pay very close attention to our plant babies. Oops. And that's why I didn't want to do the water first. Me and my waddle. Sometimes, especially on uneven ground, can get a little out of control. Oh, I swear this board here is leaning. I'm gonna have to get the guys to do something about that. I don't know if a screw came loose or what, but it's definitely leaning in more than it was prior to. All right. Also, one of my heat mats quit on me. So, what I did last night is just to add extra heat to the okra and the eggplant, I put the heat mat across both of them. So the whole tray is not covered, but it's enough radiant heat to where they'll be fine. And so we're going to end up having to do the same thing here with our moringa. Right now, I cannot afford to get any new heating mats. So, I have the 2 in the house that I'm using to start germination. And ultimately, I'm going to be done, like, with the process. So, I'm going to slide that over there. And these, they'll all be moved back outside. So, I do need them, but I can make do without them. So we're going to get this moved over now. Right over here. And it will share a spot with our... Oh, they look so good. I'm so pleased with this. So the moringa and the peppers will share a space for now. So what I need to do now is water the 1-2 trays on the top because they look a little dry. And especially the ones that are towards the back of this room, like behind you here, that way. That's the back side of the high tunnel. So right now the sun is facing it. It's in my face. So the cells that are on that back side are in the direct sun right now. So they're a little hot. Those plants are a little wilty looking. So I'm going to water those trays. And then we're going to head back in and try to locate my saved roselle seeds, because I haven't been able to find them. I gave some to somebody, and then I put the jar somewhere, and so now I gotta find it. Yeah. I was talking with some friends today, and one of them asked, we were talking about gardening. I was asking, like, who was all doing a garden to supplement their grocery bill this year. And several of the friends in the group said that they were. And that, brings, like, music to my ears, joy to my heart. One of the friends is fairly new to growing. And they asked the question, well, how do you know whether it's something you should start inside or whether you should plant it outside? And then another question was, how do you know when to start? When do I start planting? And I always pause, like there's such a hesitation for me because I remember asking those questions and I remember people giving me very generic answers. And as a result, like I made some massive screw ups. So, I pause and listen because there were people there that are far more experienced at growing than I am. And so I listen because you can always learn more from listening to other people. And I just want you to know that if you have those type of questions, don't be afraid to ask them, but know this. Still, there are some things to consider, especially when you're growing in an area where the weather can be as inconsistent as it is here in the South and in the southern states. But this principle really just applies in general. It depends on what you're growing. We're in a crossover time of the year between winter and spring and between fall and summer. There are crops that you plant that in the fall, you're planting plants that love the heat, right? And you can also be planting ones that love the cold. I can set out squash in late summer, say September, and put the seeds directly into the ground. And there's a very good chance they're going to be fine. And I'm actually going to get me a nice little small harvest before the first frost comes. Just a regular bush squash, not like a winter squash or anything like that. But if I did that same thing with a collard outside the same time of the year, it's a good chance that collard is not even going to sprout because it's so hot, and they don't like to sprout in hot soil. So for me, I'm going to set the collards in the house in a tray and plant them out. But as for my squash, you're going to go directly in the ground because my space indoors is sacred. And then when it comes to winter spring crossover, we are thinking about things like tomatoes, eggplant, peppers. Those things need to be started early, so that you can get them in the ground, right? And get them planted into the ground when the soil is ready to receive them. But you can't take a pepper seed and put it in the ground and expect it to sprout in January. Now, it will sprout eventually, but you're going to be a little bit behind as far as your harvest for the year. So please ask the questions. Please ask the questions. But the more specific you can be with your questions, then those that have a little bit more experience or that you may be trying to get information from can be specific with assisting you. So, when do I plant watermelons? When do I plant collards? When do I plant mustards? When do I plant squash? Like, very specific. And then that's going to help with your knowledge base. Your foundation from the beginning will have everything that it needs to have to sustain you throughout your growing career. So I'm literally going through my video footage on the camera, downloading what needs to be edited, and going through. I realized that I started a whole video topic and never finished it. And so today it's almost the end of the month. What is it? Like the 27th, I think, 28th. And that other part of the video that you just saw was shot on the 16th. So let me update you on a few things. So the first thing is I did find the seeds. I found the roselle seeds along with some other things that I had been looking for and got those planted. That was also planted on the 16th. Like, I did it all. I just forgot to record it. I don't know. My brain, y'all, as my brother would say, my brain ain't thinking. My brain don't be thinking. My brain stopped thinking. Okay. So I didn't record it, but I did plant it. But this is what happened. Also in that tray, I planted red mahogany splendor hibiscus. I planted okra. I planted white roselle. All of that. And then the last 9 cups in that tray were the red roselle. Everything came up in like 3 days, like super quick. And to the point where they started to get leggy on me. And I actually do think I recorded that for a story for Instagram or something. But it shocked me. And so we went ahead and got them off the heat and under some light. But none of the red roselle hibiscus came up. And they were all from saved seeds. The white roselle was from saved seed, and the red roselle was from saved seed. But the red roselle is a few years old. And so obviously that had some impact on it. Maybe I didn't store it properly. I'm not sure. But what we're going to do is we're going to go and get some more of those seed pods out. And we're going to pour some seeds into some water. And we're going to soak them overnight. And then we're going to plant them tomorrow back in the same cups. And hopefully this go around we'll get some better results. Now, the soaking in water is just something that usually for okra seeds, if you'll look at the packages on them, and I say okra because okra is in the same family with hibiscus. For those seeds, usually on okra packets, it'll say to soak them overnight, 24 hours before planting the next day. And so I usually don't do that because I usually don't have an issue with germination for okra. Not if I'm starting indoors. So, but in this case, I'm going to go ahead and soak those seeds. The water, the moisture kind of gets in there. And just like when it rains in a desert, you know, things that were places that seem to be dead are awakened with life. And that's what happens when a seed is kind of dormant. And then that water kind of helps to wake everything up and get it ready for sprouting and help speed along germination. So the soaking process really does have a point to it. Okay, so here are our seeds. And these are the calyxes that we saved them from. If you look closely, you can actually see the seeds still in there. I think that's going to be enough, actually more than enough, I hope. I'm going to go ahead and just get a little bit of water to put on these. The water's kind of cool, but I'm just going to let this sit overnight until in the morning. And then in the morning, I will go ahead and put those, these seeds, 2 or 3 to a cup, into the soil. And then we'll go ahead and start the process again. Now, the other ones that are already growing, the red mahogany, the okra, the white roselle, are all doing very well. They're up to some good size now, but we're still very early in the game. Today is February 1st, and so we still have a lot of time. I normally wouldn't even plant roselle probably until March. So this is very, very early. So thanks for watching this video. As I'm now trying to get the conclusion wrapped up, I can't even remember why or how I started this video. That should be a testimony to how crazy and busy things have been around here lately. It just is what it is. We are in the thick of it now with the cold weather. There's a lot more to do because it doesn't consistently stay cold except for maybe a couple of days, and then it warms up. And so there's a lot of let the high tunnel up, let the high tunnel down, cover the animals, uncover the animals, heat the animals, cool the animals. It's a lot of back and forth. So if it stay cold or it stay hot, it would be a lot less work. But this is something we typically go through every year. This year, it was a bit colder for a bit longer, so it was a bit more work. And my body is still recuperating. However, in the meantime, we have managed to get some freeze-dried goodies done. These are gummy chicks. These are gummy rings. These are peach rings. And I will post a video with a picture here of what happened to our freeze dryer as these were going. But as a result, we also have fruit gummy powder in sour apple. And what is this flavor? This is mango pineapple. And this one is peach. So fun, right? You never know what kind of crazy things are going to be happening on the farm, in the house. There's never a dull moment, and when it is a dull moment, we tend to savor it because it's so appreciated. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. And hopefully things are gonna, no, they're not. I'm not even gonna say the word, but we'll see you in the next video. Grow big from home.